It is about 10:30 and I'm still waiting to be unloaded. I gotta wait for those two trucks to, not the ones on the left, but the ones that are flatbeds. There's two of them there. There's only two allowed in that starting area. Pardon my wheezing, but it's just part of my life and I live with it, so hopefully I'll get less comments about it. Whoa, camera's wigging out. In order to overcome my arrow being messed up, even though they replaced this unit, somebody gave me a tip that you could let me stop this and restart it. I don't know why my camera's wigging out. Okay, let's see if it'll stay where I want it to stay. Anyway, what I was saying is a viewer, and I can't remember his name, I should have looked it up, but he said, hey, plug in a mouse and you'll be able to work it. And it does. Even though it's, right now I can't use really I could, but it takes, see the arrow, how it's messed up? I hooked up my computer mouse. And you can see I can control the arrow now, so which makes it a lot easier to input information, to look at specific information I want to look at. So I think I need to take a puff of the inhaler, because working out in this cold, snowy environment, and that's what the roads look like on my way up here. This is a this is just the driveway area for this, but I mean the roads are horrendous up here in Pennsylvania. But I made it safely and surely. There was another Maverick driver that was leaving, and he was asking me if I had a pre-plan, but I don't, because he was empty and doesn't. In my rear view mirror, you can kind of see the bar on the back of my deck. What happens is I'll drive up to where those other flatbeds are, and then I'll walk. There's a place, an office we have to walk to, and turn in our paperwork, and then we're ready to be unloaded. So once I proceed up there, then I'll actually get out. And but right now it's even though it's 9:32 Central Standard Time, I'm eating a sandwich, because when I woke up this morning and saw snow all over the ground, I was like, oh, maybe I won't dilly-dally and take a big old breakfast in the back of my truck. I'll just do my pre-trip and go. And that's what I did. So I drove for about 3.5 hours. Well, it was almost 4 because of massive amounts of traffic due to the snow conditions. Hopefully most people will stay off the roads unless absolutely necessary. As soon as I woke up, I sent in a message to my fleet manager just to let him know that there is snow conditions. So I don't know if they look at that information at all with any type of concern. Usually I'm ahead of the game, and usually what I mean is I've been told that, you know, don't jump the gun, just let us know whenever you need to let us know something when it happens. But I'm always, you know, forwarding information. Hey, it's snowy, or I'm stopped on the highway because of snow. Just so they know, in case they are wanting me to be there at a specific time. Even though it's an open appointment today, but since it's my first delivery of the week for Tuesday, there's the 10 o'clock rule. So I try to accomplish getting here by 10, and I got here at 9 Central. 9 Central Standard Time, which is really 10 here, so I guess I made it on time. So the big thing is, what will we get next? Where will we go? Will we have a load? I mean, with weather like this, they might start closing down some roads. The snow is somewhat diminished now, but You know, it's like 25 degrees and snow covering the roads. The major highways like I-71 and I-76, they were on the board. They were bad on the border of being horrible. So we'll proceed and see what happens next. All right, I've reached the head of the line. This is where everybody wants to be. It's right here. As soon as the truck that is in around the corner gets unloaded, they'll back out and pull out, and then I can pull in. Another interesting fact, I'm within 4,200 miles of another preventative maintenance, so I sent a message to my company, fleet manager, to schedule one for this weekend if possible. Typically, they like me to resend that information on Thursday or Friday as a reminder. So that's what I put in my message, that I'm requesting a preventative maintenance. I gave my current mileage and what mileage the preventative maintenance is due at, and then also subtracted that so they know exactly how many miles I have left, which is like 4,271 miles, I think. Anyway, that's to let, because usually they like you to be within 5,000 miles or less in order to schedule a preventative maintenance, and I've still got driving to do to get back there. So I will remind, I'll probably get a message from my fleet manager saying okay, and to send another message on Thursday or Friday to remind them so they can schedule it when it gets closer. But that's about it. No pre-plan as of yet, and it's still snowing outside, and it's white all over the ground. I think it's actually winter. I heard on Thursday, though, in St. Louis it's going to be excuse me, it's going to be 57 degrees, which is what I expect in my winters, you know, nice and warm. Because these kind of conditions make it difficult and dangerous to perform my job. So the less risky the environment, the better for me. So if it wants to be 80 degrees during the winter, hey, that's cool. Global warming, it's my friend. All right. Until I find out what's happening next, I could just sit here and steam up my windows. It's 4:32 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's fuel jam. They're backed out on the street. That's where I was before here. Now I'm just parked, waiting for this. Once this truck pulls forward, because there's not a truck in front of him, he's fueling, and I'll fuel. But I'm hoping my load is not tarp, so I'll actually get a show and explain everything that's going on with this load. And so it'll make it a little bit more interesting than all those tarp loads.
This car didn't accidentally, I shit myself.
I don't know if you caught that, but that was slightly inappropriate for YouTube. So anyway, I'll actually have an opportunity to clean my windows, because, you know, the outside of my truck looks awful. One day visiting Winter Wonderland, and my truck is filthy. If I were to take it to a get washed right now, in a matter of hours, it would look the same. So, oh well. At least I'll clean my windows while I'm fueling. And it's windy and 16 degrees outside, so it'll be chilly, but that's okay. I like the cold. I have a purpose, and anyway, my load assignment said tarp/no tarp, because it's kind of interesting. Oh, truck's moving. It's very rare to see a truck move when everybody and their neighbor's trying to fuel. Apparently this is the spot. Oh, there goes another truck. Maybe it'll be mine soon, so I'll sign off for now. Okay, it's about 7:30 in the evening. You can see where I'm at in Ohio, and I've got to go by Fort Wayne, and I'm delivering in Indiana tomorrow, this gray bar. I would get outside and show it to you, but it's like, 12 degrees outside, so I figure I'll skip that, and maybe you'll see it tomorrow. When I get driving, after I pick up an assignment, it makes it, sometimes it's just difficult for me to break out of the driving habit and show stuff. Oh, well, I guess I could have showed the load when I was fueling, but you know, everybody in there wants you to get out of the way. I am at the rambling. This is mom and pop as a truck stop can get. Let's see. You can't make it out very well, but across the street is a very large graveyard. I've stayed next to graveyards before. Not a big deal. Let's see. I want to make sure I get the correct name of this particular place. It's the Rambler's Roost Restaurant and Truck Stop. You can see part of the fuel station in front of it. It does have a small store, but I walked in and it wasn't occupied. I'm assuming they were in the restaurant. And there's very little in the way of choices of snacks. They have lots of drinks, but I bypassed it all. I was thinking about going to the Rambling Roost restaurant. It's open 24 hours. But I chose not to. I'm going to utilize the food I have in my truck. But the Rambler's Roost Restaurant and Truck Stop is on Lincoln Highway. I was traveling down Ohio 30 West, and trying to remember the name of the street I got off on, but it has a middle point exit off of Ohio 30, the highway. It's kind of not an interstate, but it's a great highway to travel on because it's very few travelers on it. So I mean, I was not having to worry about the plethora of motorists that are on the interstates. And this is even a smaller road off of US 30 that's right in front of me, but you can't see it very well. The roads are actually fairly clear and somewhat dry, because right now the sky is clear and the wind is blowing, horrendously. So when you've got when it's 14 degrees outside and you've got a 20 knot wind, that makes it cold. And I like it cold outside, but not that cold. There's a animal. I'm assuming it's a cat. Probably looking for cover because, it's cold outside. I know I have a very large dog, and we came home on Sunday, and usually he comes out front when we come home to greet us all and to find out where we've been by smelling us all. And it was funny because he would only put his front paws outside the door, and he was hesitant about coming outside, which he usually is because I don't allow him into the front. He knows that's not right. But I was even trying to call him out. Hey, come on out. But he was so hesitant, and I think it was because it was about 10 degrees. It was very cold. The concrete was cold, and he's like, you know what? It's really warm in the house. I think I'll just stay in here, which is understandable. So, time to edit some video. I've got like 2.5 hours, something like that. Go to map. Yeah, 2 hours and 39 minutes, so if I get up at 6, so it'll be about 8:30, and I think they open up at 7 for delivery. Ooh, 8. So, yeah. So it's good that I don't get up earlier than 6, so they wouldn't be open. If I got up at 5 and drove there, they'd be closed. So, it'll be interesting to see what I get next. Who knows? It'll be Wednesday, so yeah, I'm not sure. These kind of situations make me nervous, because I've started to head home, and there's always the chance, because there's a lot of places that are within a day's driving distance of my house that they may send me, hey, we need you to go to North Carolina or Virginia, because there's parts of those states that are within driving distance of my home. But when I go there in the middle of the week, it makes me nervous, not knowing if I'll get a load back. But so far, they have not. It's always been successful in getting me home for the weekend, because really I've only stayed out for 2 weekends with a load twice. That's it in this whole year. So, so it's been. I shouldn't worry. Is what I'm saying. I should expect to get home on weekends because that's, statistically speaking, odds are I have a better chance of getting home than winning the Powerball. I should still buy a ticket though, right? 1.5 billion? I don't know. Not into the lottery. Sorry.